Welcome back. You've probably seen this in other videos. Well, we're going to do some modifications today. Last year while we were loading, we were having problems with the cable up here falling down beside the pulley. So I went and got a chunk of steel, round stock that has the center already drilled out. Unfortunately, the center was drilled out a little too big, so now I have to put a bushing in to make the bearings fit. But then we're going to replace this metal wire rope with the synthetic. So let's go into the lathe and get this done. So I already have the piece faced and the outside done. This is the chunk that we're going to turn into a pulley. So I got to put a groove in here, and then we're going to have to put like a bushing in here for the bearings to fit. I'm going to keep this as close to 1 inch thick as possible to fill the gap out there. As you can tell, there's the hole, there's the bearing. So I couldn't find a piece that would work exactly the way I needed it to, but my lathe also won't open up enough to fit to the outside. So it actually works out in my benefit. So let's get turning and see how this turns out. Okay, so we just got back from the scrap yard. We got a piece of steel for the bushing inside that pulley. It ended up being larger than I had anticipated on getting, but it is what they had available. And also, I will be using the rest of it for a other project. So here, we'll show you what we're doing right now. As you can see, it's about 3 inches. I need 2 inches. It's already been cutting for 5 minutes. So it's going to take a little while to get this done. Once we're done, we're going to throw it in the lathe, knock it off by a half or about an inch total diameter. And then we got to put the bore inside of it for the bearings. Once we do that, then we'll press fit it together, see if we need any bushings to keep the pulley from sliding side to side on that crane, and we should be back in business here shortly. Okay, so got the bushing turned down. It turned out pretty good, I think. Here it is. I may have to turn the inside just a fraction to get the bearings to fit. Once we get it pressed in, we're going to get ready and press it in. And if need be, we can take this down on the lathe after it's pressed. Okay, it's the first time I've ever done any press fitting, and I think it turned out really, really good. We're going to check to see the clearances for the bearings. And if they're good, then we're going to go ahead and get them press fit. Alright, so we got both bearings pressed in with a slight gap in the middle. That ought to work really well. Spins pretty easily. Got a nice groove in it for the rope on the winch. So the next step is to get it assembled on the crane. I went out and I was looking at the crane, and the little pulley on the front of the crane, I had to pull it so I could get the wire pulled through so I can put the new rope on. Well, in the process of doing that, the bearing ended up being very, very stiff and kind of wore out. So I went and ordered new bearings. So let's go ahead and get this pressed in, and then we'll be able to go out and put this on. I have another modification I'm going to do to the crane. Before I put this on, I'll show it to you whenever we go out. So let's go ahead and get this pressed in here into this pulley, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so we're outside here with the trailer, and I'll show you what I was talking about. So you can see here it's rubbing with this wire rope. I want to cut here and here and take that out, because there are times that I pull kind of outward and I don't want the new rope to be rubbed there. Now some of you might say that I will be weakening it. I don't believe so, because I have a weld here and a weld here holding this. This little piece here I don't think is going to do much. So we're going to cut this and this, smooth it up so there's no sharp edges. And then we're going to pull this old wire rope out, and we're going to put the synthetic rope in. So let's get that done. Alright, so let's pull all this old cable off. Okay, so there is a Allen screw holding this cable on. So we'll pull the Allen screw. There we go. Now we need to do one more modification up here, or maintenance thing, whatever you want to call it. For the charger on this. That way I can be charging the battery while we're running this winch, running the new line in. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so I ended up putting a battery charger on here, and I had to buy a cord or plug, because it's supposed to fit. I don't know if you can see that. It's supposed to fit in here. Well, the problem is every plug that I have bought so far does not fit in there. Only a factory one so far has fit. So I have a donor cord here that the insulation and stuff's getting kind of rough. It's getting real rough actually. So I'm gonna knock it off here and put it on here and use it on here. I'll put some heat shrink tubing over it and everything, but this will fit over there. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I've been using this for a while now. It works really, really good on cleaning them wires and making the solder stick. Alright, so I finally got it put in. I'll show you why it's such a pain. Let's see if we can even see down in here. So you see this up here, and there's a screw down here and one on this side, and you got to feed it in there. It's not the easiest, but we finally got it done. Now we'll put it on charge, which I have it on charge right now. As you can see, it's charging. So since it's charging, we can go ahead and run the winch and get the new cable put in. Alright, so there's the new pulley. Now there's no gap for this to fall into. Nice and smooth. Another thing that I did to this a while back was, you know how bottle jacks works. You have to take this out. You can see the end. You gotta put that in to loosen it. Well, on the lathe, I made this. So that way you can just grab it. And that's all you gotta do. So let's go ahead and put this in the storage position, and then we're done. Alright, so we got the new rope on, the new synthetic tow line. We got the new pulley, put a new bolt, did that side, or put a plug on the battery charger. And I think we're just about done with this. It's ready to go for the year. So if you like watching these types of videos where we do maintenance and repairs, and we try to do them on the most affordable way that we can, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like this video. If you want to see the upcoming videos, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified every time I post a new one. So until next time, you guys have a good one.